Hey, hello, it's Sunday, January 7th, and we are installing our new 9,000 BTU mini split in the back. And I guess I should have started filming this a little earlier, but it just occurred to me, man, hey, I got to do this. So it's right about noon, actually. Yeah, I was taking care of some just necessity stuff since coming back from our holiday trip. And let me show you what we've got done so far. So the bracket that attaches to the wall here, it's the same bracket. This is actually pretty much the same unit that I bought, almost exactly the same model and everything, just newer. So I didn't have to change the metal bracket, but you could just see the little edge of it right there. So that's just, this is making this real easy. This is the water drain hose that came with this unit, and that's going to be exactly the same connection right there that I had before. This is the same wire on my original unit. I just reconnected it onto this one, and it's going to reconnect with these right back where it was on this terminal strip that I installed right there when I did this thing. Right now I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect these just for more clarity, make sure that these are in the same order from left to right, because I changed the colors up. It's slightly different where the wires connect inside the air conditioner right there. So it's red, black, yellow, and then green. And over here I want to make sure that they're in that order, and I'm going to take some of this red electrical tape right here and put that on that green wire there, because I'm using that as the red. So it'll be red, or I guess I'll do it from this side: red, black, white, and then the ground wire is just going to connect to ground on this metal, because I don't have a 3-conductor wire. I mean a 4-conductor wire. The standard configuration, I guess you'd say, it's a 4-conductor wire that runs from the unit, this unit, to the outside unit, and that's where it picks up its ground from. But we're just going to pick up the ground from the body of the vehicle instead. So that being said, one other thing. This is the original drain hose from my old unit, which fits much better than what I had on here before. I had just some preformed piece of 5/8 automobile heater hose on there. So we're going to use the OEM hose here that clips right in there just perfectly on that side, and we're going to cut this back to connect onto it. But what I'm missing here, this is a 1/2 inch on the ID, and this is 5/8 on the ID. So what I've got to get is the same thing I have on this side right here. I've got a nylon 1/2 inch to 5/8. It's male to male, that white coupler that's right there, and a short piece of 5/8 heater hose. And that's how I've got those connected. And the insulation here covers up the whole thing, so we should not get any sweating from the cold water running out. Okay, I guess you recognize where we are. We're underneath the bus, and I decided I would like to disconnect everything electrically before I connect the evaporator unit upstairs, just in case there's any kind of like residual voltage hanging around on these wires. I mean, I got the breaker open, so there should be nothing, but I don't want to take any chances monkeying around with something and have a problem. All right, this is going to take 2 hands to loosen that. I could slide this down and unhook the wires. What I've done here, I started taking out this sheet metal piece to get access to this, And then I realized maybe I can do this here if I loosen this condenser unit and shift it over a little bit, and that's what I've done. So we're all the way over to the forward unit here, and I think I'm going to be able to do it. If I can, great. If I can't, well, then I'll go ahead and take off this sheet metal here so I can see what I'm doing better. Okay, we got that down, and that took quite a bit doing, actually, but just a lot of busy work. So I needed to take that out. That's the outboard brace for both of these mini splits. And what's working in my favor is, if you see this hole right here, there's a bracket that I installed on the top of both of these that goes off to the side to keep these things from shaking. So I wouldn't risk breaking the mounts from vibration, since these things are not made for road travel. And that's worked very well, but that's what's holding this now, because the bracket on top of this one is holding it from moving that way, and it's sitting on the back feet back there. So now we can get this thing out of here. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't show you. I took the skin off, which I designed to be removable with these stainless steel screws. So when this type of maintenance was going to be needed, which happened to happen, so now we can get these things out of here. So this will come out easy. I'm just going to drag this thing out of here. But the new one, I'm going to set it on the floor jack and roll it up in there nice and careful like, so I don't scratch the paint off the bottom. And then we'll lift that up and we'll be able to get that back underneath it and bolt everything in place. And I also took off that piece of sheet metal that is right there, because I needed to take that off in order to lift up that channel to slide it out that way, in order to get it off of that lip that's right there. So yeah, kind of involved. Well, we're ready to go in. We had to drill another hole there because the spacing between the 2 feet is narrower and a little bit like 3/4 of an inch different location than this one, but we're going to reuse that hole and just let the thing, you know, it's 1/2 inch or 3/4 or so different there, so that'll be fine. I've already drilled the hole there, and I already drilled the hole in that. So now we just need a little good luck, kind of pivot this thing and kind of shoehorn it in there, raise it up and get it on top of that. And once we get on top of that one, then we're gonna feel comfortable about this thing not falling on me. That was easy. Where's my easy button? I already got the bolt back in over there. Need to just roll this back here. I'll put the bolt back in that piece first, then I'll move this over, I guess. Yeah. Well, we're all physically mounted. Got our mounting bolts in, got all of our structural brackets installed, and I got the brace installed. Let me see if we can see it up here. Right here. Is that showing up? That bolt right there. And that nut keep this thing completely rigid, does not even wiggle the tiniest bit. All right, so I got to put the fan back on in the grill. Oh, and I need to run my magnet around here and get all the metal shavings out of it. I forgot. I got to do that right now before I forget. And then the next thing will be hooking up the electric and the refrigerant lines. We got our electrical connected. There's nothing spectacular to see about that. It's just connect the wires on terminals 1, 2, 3 on the leads that go up to the evaporator unit, and then the power has got line, neutral, and ground. Then you put the cover on. Piece of cake. And I used gland nuts here, reuse the ones that were there. Next we're going to hook up the refrigerant lines, and I'm going to be using something I've never used before, but it seems like a cool idea. These little seals that you put between the copper flare and the brass fitting. And I bought the kit for 1/4 and 3/8 because I have 1/4 and 3/8 tubing. And they even are so nice to give you the torque settings if you are equipped with the torque wrench and crow's foot. Hey there, it's Monday, January 8th, and it's what, about 10:30 in the morning. We're finally getting started, and I'm going to finish all this up today. I had the idea of taking the cushions off the sofa and put it on the bed so I can reach comfortably, and what a difference that makes. So yeah, here we go. We're just about a minute into this, and we're still pulling air out. Air / refrigerant, that is. We'll let this go for about half an hour, I guess. All right, let's turn off everything. So we're at the accuracy of this gauge. We're just a sliver higher than the 30. All right, let's see how that holds. All right, that's been about 20 minutes, and it hasn't changed, not even one smidgen on the vacuum leak check here. So now we're going to do a pressure test. I'm going to give this thing pressure with 410 and bubble leak check, and then we'll know for sure. Okay, it's running. The low side came down way too low. I don't know what's up with that. Let's let this thing stabilize. It is climbing. We want to see this stabilize around the 40-degree mark. About, 120, 116 degree PSI on the low side. $40 degrees. We got the skin back on, all the fasteners in, and got the fender liner, I guess you would call it, protective plate there installed. Everything's done, working perfect. Another job well done. I couldn't be more pleased.